Hello Year 11 and welcome to our fourth video here for our sixth topic. We're looking at government allowances and pensions here. Now, government allowances and pensions are paid through Centrelink by the federal government to support people in need. Right? These might be the aged, the unemployed, students, parents, people with a disability. First of all, we're going to look at the age pension. You've got to be over 65 to get the age pension. And right, just being over 65 doesn't guarantee you'll get it. There are other requirements around assets, things that you own, and income, money that you earn. Now, a single person, $797.90 is the full payment. I say this, these things change fairly regularly. Some people say they don't change often enough. Enough of that, though. But I'm going to say, don't learn these figures. Right? Any question in any sort of assessment or exam that you get will provide a table with this information in it. Right? And use the information that's in the table. Enough to know that a single person gets more, or the full payment for a single person is more than that for someone in a couple. But if you add the amounts for that couple together, then that's going to be more than the single person gets. Right? Because a couple will share some of the expenses. This second table here tells us what happens to your payment if you are earning money, right? If you have income. Now, if your income for a single person is less than $164 per fortnight, nothing happens. And in fact, if you've got a dependent child, one dependent child, then you can add $124.70 onto this and get $288.70, right? You could earn up to $288.70 for a single person with one dependent child without a reduction in your age pension. If, however, you were a single person and you earn above that amount, then you will lose, for every extra dollar you earn, you'll lose 50 cents of your pension. For a couple, it's a similar idea. The figures are just different, right here. Still per dependent child, we've got this here, the combined income can be a little bit higher, but the reduction actually is calculated differently as well. As I say, don't learn these figures off by heart, always refer to the information that will be provided in the question. And here is a question. Use the table above, calculate the fortnightly age pension for each of these people or couple. I've got Beryl, right? Beryl, name doesn't matter. 72, okay, that's fine. So she meets the age requirement, receives $400 per year in dividends from her shares. Oh, look, I'm not even going to pull my calculator out here because $400 per year is certainly going to be a lot less than, you know, whether she's single or a couple, it's going to be a lot less than $164 per fortnight. Right here. So Beryl will be entitled to, oh, it doesn't say if she's single or a couple. I'm going to say that she's single because it doesn't say otherwise, and her full payment will be $797.90. Not a great question, you know. I should fix it up. $797.90. That's the full amount. Dulcie and Bert. Right. Now, we will assume they are a couple. They're legal guardians of their granddaughter and have a combined income of $230 per week. So, we meet the age requirement. That's fine. We're a couple. Legal guardians. So, this means that they could earn up to a combined income of $292 plus $124.70 per fortnight. No, this is per week. So let's work this out. We're going to say 2 lots of 230 is $460 per fortnight. Now they could earn up to 292 plus 124.70 equals, I'm not in the mood for doing that. Calculator, here we go. It's off. 292 plus 124.7 equals 416.70. Rightio, so they could earn up to $416.70 without a reduction. They earn more than that, so there is going to be a reduction. Rightio. in this case, we have, let's have a look. How does it reduce? They'll lose 50 cents in the dollar each. So, from there, 601.50 each, they will lose 50 cents for every dollar over. So we do 460 minus the 400 and I'm going to say just 416 because it's only per dollar. I'm going to say how many whole dollars. 460 minus 416. Right. So they earn, actually that's probably not right. Hang on. How many dollars over the allowable 416.70 do they earn? Okay, let's do the 416.70. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that either. I'm going to minus 417 from that. Why 417? Let me explain it. 460 minus 417, that they earn 43 and a bit dollars more than the allowable 416.70. Right, so I'm going to say they earn 43 full dollars more, and the extra bit, well, look, it really doesn't account to much, and that's how these things are calculated. So, they earn $43 over. Now, for every dollar, they lose 50 cents each. So, I'm going to say 43 times 0.5. Come back here. Times 0.5. Right, so they each lose 21.50. Right, so that means that instead of getting 601.50, they get $21.50 less. So 601.50 minus 21.50 equals, well, that's pretty neat actually, isn't it? Is $580 each. $80. And their combined income, is that what we're asked for? Yes, for the couple. So we've got two lots of that. 2 times 580 equals $1,160 per fortnight. So notice that they both lose 50 cents, right, for each dollar they're over. Okay, be careful with that. That's why we didn't add them together early on and work out their combined income, subtract it from the combined income. We work out the income for each individual. Finally here, Stanley is 63, has no income, lives alone. That's a bit sad for Stanley. Particularly so because Stanley is 63, so he is not eligible for the age pension. Oh. Hang on. So Stanley, no age pension for Stanley. There might be another payment there, though. Now we need to look at youth and study allowances. This table here, reasonably complicated. Take your time to look through those. Okay, there's not a lot of calculation in these at this stage. Right, so basically, youth allowance is for people up to mostly the age of 24. Oz study for people over the, so people 25 and over, people 25 and over, it says over 25 and up to 24 there. We'll say 25 years and over, studying full-time is Oz study, and AB study is similar to Oz study, but for Indigenous students and apprentices. Right? We'll see that they're very, very similar, with some variations according to age. Now, youth allowance here, it depends here, the rate that you earn depends on how old you are. It depends on whether you are a couple, member of a couple or single. Depends whether you have children. Depends whether or not you are living at home. Right, that's why there's a fair table there. Right, read the question, check the conditions, compare it to the table. These tables will change. Oz study, remember this is for people over the age of 25 that are studying full-time. Again, it depends whether you are partnered or single, whether you have children or not. Doesn't matter whether or not you're living at home, or at least it doesn't say so here, and that's what we'll work from. Now, we need to calculate the youth allowance or a study payment for these people. Pablo is aged 17, right? So that's youth allowance. First year apprentice plumber, living with his parents. So, we are in this category here, looking or doing approved activities. Let me think. So, here we go, sorry. Age 16 to 24, full-time apprenticeship. That's Pablo. So, Pablo will assume that he's single, he's under 18, and living at home will get $239.50. $239.50. Now, Cassie is 27, so we're talking about Oz Study here, studying full-time at TAFE and raising her son alone, so she's got a child and single. So, let's just check the eligibility one here. Conditions for eligibility. We are over 25, studying full-time, right? So that's Oz Study. Let's come down to Oz Study. We are single with children, $573.30. Righto. And Zena is 32, studying part-time, living with a husband and 2 children. Let's have a look here. Now, over 25, studying full-time. Zena is not studying full-time, so she's not eligible for any of these allowances. No entitlement. Greg, 16, left school, homeless, looking for full-time employment. So, let's have a look here. Under 18, not living at... Oh, wait. I need to come back up here. Now, does he qualify for youth allowance? 16 to 21? Yes. Right, he's 16. Looking for full-time work? Yes. Okay, so that meets that first criteria for youth allowance. Now, we'll assume that Greg is single, with no children, under 18, not living at home. This is Greg here, $437.50. Not always straightforward. I don't know about the mathematics. Right, there's not a lot of calculations here, you see. You just look up the table. Right, read the questions carefully, look it up in the table. Now, here are the rates for AB Study, and these are slightly more complicated because it has more conditions on age. It varies more according to age, is the main difference with these. So now, again, you've always got to look up the table, and you can see this one is from 2017. They do change. Calculate the fortnightly abstating payment for each Indigenous student. We know they're Indigenous, we know they're a student. William is 18, living with his partner and 2-year-old son. So 18 to 21, partner with dependent child. Right, so we're in this category here. Is he younger than 22? Yes, he is. So $480.50. $480.50 for William. Now, Annie is 14, living at home with her parents. So let's have a look here. Under 18, at home. This one here, $239.50. And finally here, Jackie, 27, living with her husband, no children. So we are partnered, no dependent children. We're in this category here. We're over 22, so $477.40. Rightio. That's it. There is a bit of a long video, I'm afraid. Not a lot of calculations. Didn't have to pull out the calculator many times there. A little bit for adjusting the age pension. But anyway, mostly read the question very carefully, match the criteria up to what will always be a provided table. Okay, got any questions? I'll see you in class.